I have heard that Poland has a reputation, a history for freedom, for democracy, oldest democracy in Europe.
Updating Poland, 65%.
W ogóle nie czuję to, że to jest tolerancyjny kraj. Nie. Ale jak powiedzieć to? Nie wiem jak powiedzieć, bo czuję to. Czuję, słyszę co ludzie mówią, ale nic nie mogę powiedzieć konkretnie, ale czuję, że są zamknięte bardzo. Bardzo zamknięte.
Wydaje mi się, że często bywa tak, że jest fajnie, jeżeli ktoś z kogoś się nabija. To wtedy może jest wolno się śmiać i tak dalej, natomiast jeżeli już ktoś zaczyna się nabijać z tego, który się nabija, często bywa tak, że już jest nie na miejscu. W każdym razie tak mi się wydaje. Biorę przykład. Ktoś patrzy na mnie, o jakiś murzyn, o jakiś ładny murzyn. Okej. No właściwie no, jestem murzynem, prawda? Ładny już nie wiem, ale murzyn to jestem. Ja to biorę jako zabawę. Mówię okej. A ja na niego patrzę na przykład, okazuje się, że na przykład jest siwe albo grube, a ja na niego patrzę, o biały i w dodatku łysy, a w tym momencie on się denerwuje.
Guy I know that sometimes has to, excuse me, he has to send some faxes to someone. He says, oh, I'm sending them to the Żółte, the Koreans. He calls them to the yellows, you know. And well, they're not, you know, like people, they're just the yellows, you know.
Miałem kiedyś, nie wiem co on robi teraz, przyjaciel, murzyn, który mi mówił, że po prostu on miał tyle problem tutaj, że on miał dosyć, no. I ale konkretny problem tym razem, no, to znaczy, wiesz.
Generally, no, I think people are very racist here, extremely prejudiced, extremely judgmental. You don't even have to mention the word black, and if they see a photo, you know, it's, oh my God, he's black. You know, my God, what does he want? Ah, you know, he's a criminal. He's he must be of the intent to do harm to someone. Or completely prejudiced. It infuriates me. I
hate being told when we go out, watch what you say, don't act queenie, don't do something that lets people know you're gay. I'm like, well, if you have a problem with it, then I'm not going. I can't change it. Okay, I won't put my wrist down, I'm sorry. And I'll talk in a deeper voice if you want me to. But it's all crap and stupid. I think that might have turned off some Poles at first getting to know me because I was open and I said what I wanted to say, and if I liked someone and we were dating, or if I had, in the few relationships I had no problem being in a restaurant or in a club and sitting close or giving a quick kiss, but that's me. I figure if all the Poles can do it on the metro and in the trams, why can't I? Or I should say the straight Poles. But I'm finding the differences that a lot are still in the closet. When I ask, what's usually one of my first questions, are you out? And they're like, no, God forbid I tell my family, no, they'll kick me out, they'll never speak to me again. And it's like, how old are you? 32. Do you live alone? Yes. Do you have girlfriends or just female friends? No. So you only associate with men? Yes. You think your mother hasn't figured it out yet? I don't care if she's Catholic.
Yeah, the Polish people very religious.
It's very Catholic here, like 95%.
The power that the church has in this country is just incredible.
I am furious when I hear the Catholic idea of you know, any other religion is wrong. You know, what's the whole idea of being religious is to love God, love yourself and other people, but no. God is the most important thing for them, and they don't see any other way. Jews are wrong, Muslims are wrong. Sorry. I mean, I don't find that unacceptable. That's their problem, but I have strong objections to that, of course.
I was in Zakopane, between Novi Sądz and Zakopane I was driving around going from one gig to another. And just, believe me or not, every 10 meters across and something like, oh, Maria is alive or whatever, every 10 meters. And I've been driving for 40 kilometers and 40 kilometers crosses all along the road. This felt like this movie, the Blair Witch Project.
You can see people going to the kościołs, to the churches every Sunday.
Someone told me that they had a relative who actually lived in Częstochowa who was a doctor and who would go to church on a regular basis. And the priest was giving a lecture on the evils of abortion. And this doctor stood up during the middle of the sermon and said, well, don't come to us when your nuns are pregnant. Ooh, what a shocker. Can you imagine the congregation?
A lot of time Poles can be quite intolerant, really. There is a lot of anti-Semitism here. It's not really official. The official words coming from the government ministry are all peaches and cream and niceness. However, I used to live in Łódź, and there's a couple football teams there, and it was very common that one team, LKS, would write their initials on a wall, spray paint. And then someone else would come by later and put a Star of David on there. That, of course, calling them other team a Jew, of course, being the worst insult you could ever come up with. And this is pretty much a daily occurrence in Łódź. It doesn't seem to happen so much in Warsaw, I've noticed.
There's this very strange mystery of what a Jew is in Poland. So definitely people ask me, is there anti-Semitism in Poland? I would say in a sense there's maybe not anti-Semitism, there's Semitism. I mean, meaning that a Jew is something which is very, 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 very significant word in Polish. It carries with it some very negative connotations for a lot of people, and it's ingrained in the Polish language, I think.
The fact that I've heard still so many negative views about Jews from Poles, and the fact that they're not open to other people when they themselves, just for being Polish, were being killed during the war. And it was just like, why can't you open up? Don't you see what happened in the history?
One of the biggest tasks of Polish society now is to somehow bridge a gap which has existed throughout communist times due to several factors during communism and when communism took over Poland. There's very, very bad relations between the Jewish people and the Polish people. Probably the worst ever are after the Second World War, I think.
Społeczeństwo Polski nie jest w jakiś sposób tam różne od innych społeczeństwa. Natomiast ci, którzy ustalają te prawo i tak dalej, chyba niektóre problemy po prostu nie są rozwiązać.
Warning. Warning. A virus has been detected.
It's hot in here.
Updating Poland. 89%.